Welcome everyone to your spoiler review of Deadpool 2. I'm your host Darren Cruz and I'm gonna break down Deadpool 2 just for you. So if you have not watched Deadpool 2, definitely go back to our non-spoiler review, check that out, and then watch Deadpool 2 and then jump back to this video and get nerdy with us. And just before I get started, I want to jump to our Instagram page and just to see what people are saying about the movie. So on our Instagram page, I went out and kind of made a post and asked what did everyone think of this movie. And I asked them to rate it from 1 to 10. Some people gave it an 8.5 out of 10. Some people gave it a 10, 11, 7, and a 7. So this is from Spoiler Free Marvel Spoiler. He gave it an 8.5 out of 10. He said humor was on point, the plot was good, visual effects had its weak moments, awesome soundtrack. Cole.Canaletti, he said he gave it a 7 out of 10. He said not as good as the first one in my opinion. A lot of same gags used. It was still very funny. The sound design was super good. There were some killer sound effects in there. Yeah, I totally agree. I think the sound design was really great. The sound effects was, I guess the sound effects didn't really stand out to me. Some of the gags didn't land for me as much as it did for other people, but comedy is subjective, so whatever you think is funny may not be funny to someone else. I know my girl was laughing throughout the movie, so I'm glad she enjoyed all the jokes. So yeah, if you are not following us on Instagram, definitely follow us at Heroes Avenue, and feel free to comment on our post and give us a rating, or just give us a rating in the comments below. So alright, so that's it for Instagram. Alright, so let's break down the movie. I'm gonna try my best and break down the movie in segments with the characters, some scenes, and kind of give you a feel of what I thought about each aspect of the film. Alright, so we're gonna talk about Wade Wilson and Vanessa. So this couple is really great. The chemistry between Ryan Reynolds and Marina Baccarin. I don't know if I pronounced it correctly, but their chemistry is great on film. I did not know they were going to kill off that early in the film. So when that happened, I was actually surprised, like, whoa, I thought you were going to keep her around for, future Deadpool movies. But which we later find out, he does go back in time and kind of fixes everything. So I'm not sure if she's really alive or if she will continue on in Deadpool 3 or X-Force. But I really want to, see her character more. The relationship really excels in this film, especially with the limited amount of time they have. But it's so great to see them together. And whenever you see Wade Wilson and Vanessa, you see the human version, the grounded version of Deadpool, and it's really nice to see just because of all the quips and jokes that he makes throughout the film. And he's like not serious the entire time, but when he's with Vanessa, he is like everyone else that's romantically in love with his girlfriend or his wife, and he just cares about her. His whole motive of being Deadpool is out of pure love for his wife or for his girlfriend, and I really love that about his character. What I'm saying, I just love it when they're together, just because it grounds Deadpool so much more, and it just builds on his character. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to talk about is the villain, Russell. This is one thing I did not like about the film. I'm sorry guys, but Russell was a really weak character. I'm sorry for the guy that played him, but he just did not do him justice. His name is Julian Dennison. I don't think he did a great job. I'm not sure if it's the writing or if it's the actual actor, but his character felt really flat. He was just straight angry the entire time. I hate it when movies make a villain one-dimensional and they're just purely evil, and this is basically how he was. He was just purely evil. He just wanted revenge for of the Doctor. He just wanted that first kill to set him in the really dark path, and it just didn't work for me at all. And yes, they tried to give us some backstory to why he's so mad or why he hates the Doctor so much, but I feel like at least spend a little bit more time, or like at least have, he didn't even have a moment. He didn't have a moment to talk about what they did to him. All he talked about, like how people don't take him seriously. He wants to be a superhero, and it just felt like an annoying kid. It just felt really forced. I just did not. I just was not convinced that his character was actually evil. I just thought he was just a brat. I'm not sure if that was intended or not, but it just did not work for me, which deteriorated from the actual plot of the film, which I also have, some complaints about. I thought the plot itself wasn't that great. The fact that in order for him to be with his dead girlfriend, he has to save this kid from Cable or from being a villain. I mean, it sounds great, but the way they executed it wasn't. It didn't fall from. It didn't land with me. And I think that has a lot to do with the actual actor that plays him, or maybe just how they wrote Russell themselves. So I don't know. I'm not looking forward to Russell in future X Force movies or future Deadpool movies, but hey, that's my take. And just felt like this whole plot was just like a setup for X Force, and that's how it is for like the second movie. The second movie of a trilogy or of a franchise. It's always like, if it always feels like the second movie is just building up to set up for the third movie. We know everyone in this movie, everyone else like Cable, X Force, Domino, made this movie so entertaining that Russell and the small things that I have against the plot doesn't really hardly affects how I feel about this movie. But it does, bring down the points of how I rate this. So my next point is Deadpool and Colossus. Man, I love their chemistry together. I love how they're like BFFs. I love how Colossus is still trying to make him a good guy, trying to bring him to the X-Men, and he kind of did. You're X-Men trainee. You're X-Men in training, right? I love that Say Anything reference with the boombox. I thought that was great. All right, so the next thing I want to talk about is Cable. Cable, oh man, I'm sure you love Cable because I loved him. For the amount of time he was on screen and the amount of time we got to learn about his character, I loved every moment of it. Oh man, like I thought he was actually going to be the bad guy of this film. I really thought he was. But I'm glad that he eventually got on the Deadpool side and became part of the team. Cable had a strong presence in this film. His character, all of his lines in this movie was great. I love how the gun. I love how the gun kept retracting to his back, and he was able to use it. I thought that was really cool. His force field that he had with his arm was really cool as well. Really one-upped, Deadpool, right? And I just want to learn more about Cable. I feel like we didn't get to learn that much about him. But I do love his motivation in this movie. I thought that was really strong, and I loved how they went back to it and made him stay in the timeline and kind of use his last time jump to save Deadpool. I thought that was really cool because I want to see this character even more. And that just builds on what we saw on Cable and builds on his character, right? But I do want to learn more about him. I was waiting for him to reference his parents or the X-Men somehow. I just wanted to learn more about him, and I'm sure we're going to learn more about him in the X-Force movie, but man, it was so great to see him. Alright, so the next one is X-Force and the parachutes. Oh man. So the X-Force and the auditions was hilarious. Shatterstar, Zeitgeist, Vanisher, Domino, Peter, Bedlam was really good. I thought they were gonna have I thought they were all gonna have more screen time. I thought X-Force was gonna be seen throughout the entire film. I did not expect for all of them to die from the parachutes. That was hilarious. I was like, no way, they're all gonna die. Oh man, when Shatterstar landed straight into the helicopter, oh man, that was nasty. That was nasty. And then when Zeitgeist went through the shredder and then puked on Peter. Oh man, this is so funny. I was so sad for Peter because Peter was my favorite character out of all the X-Force. No matter how badass they were, no one can beat Peter. Peter was great. That line he made was, "Hey, I know this guy Russell is a bad guy, but I bet he didn't kill as much people as Melatonin did." And then he puts on his his sunblock. I thought it was hilarious. It was so funny. And then you got Vanisher in the team as well, and you never see him, you know. That was so hilarious. And then when we finally see Vanisher died, we find out it's Brad Pitt. I was like, yo, it's Brad Pitt. What the fuck? Hilarious. I was enjoying it the entire time, and I wish I really wish we saw them more, but I think they're gonna save them for later, for probably for the third film or whatever they're gonna do with the third film. But that was all really cool. Quick deaths though. I really wanted them. I really wanted them to see him survive. So out of all those, all those characters in X Force, I really love Domino. Domino was fantastic. Much like how I loved Cable, Domino was basically the same thing, and no wonder why they were marketing her so much in all the posters and all the commercials. They were marketing her like crazy. Just the way she moves, because she, when she was falling from the parachute, she was kind of maneuvering. When she was actually falling from the bridge, when she was falling, she knew that she was gonna land safely, and she was just like, and then she lands on the panda balloon. That was really funny, and that was just so great to see her on film. It really reminded me of I forgot that character on The Flash right now. I don't know if you guys are watching The Flash, but there's this character on there that basically has the same powers as her, and she just has luck throughout the entire time. Like her power is just luck, and the way Domino used her powers was kind of the same way that girl did in The Flash, and I thought it was really good. And the last, in the final scene of the movie when they're trying to figure out the code for the collar, and then she just says 7, she's like, still got it. So funny. I can't wait to see them all in the next movie. And the fact that we got we had the Trinity, we got Deadpool, we got Cable, we got Domino. Them three are a really strong presence on the film. They're really great. Their teamwork to defeat Juggernaut was really entertaining. I loved every moment of it. And that brings me to my next point. Juggernaut was so good, so tight. The last time we saw him was X-Men Last Stand, and that was not the best iteration of Juggernaut. I think this one worked very well, despite the mediocre special effects. But it still works for me. I mean, no one's gonna be that big, really. So like, it's okay for them to use CGI. And I didn't know, if you guys didn't know, Juggernaut was actually played by Ryan Reynolds. He actually voiced him. I don't think he actually put on the motion capture suit, but he did voice him. But yeah, Juggernaut was great. It felt very comic book accurate. And I love the fight scene. Again, I love the fight scene with him, Deadpool, Cable, and Domino, and with Colossus. That fight scene was something that I think all of us fans have been waiting for to see on screen, and we finally got it. And the way we wanted it, right? And I think his death was hilarious, where he just like unzips his pants, or like he just pulls down his back end of his suit and just puts the wire in his butt crack, and then pushes him in the water, and then he just electrocutes. That was hilarious. That was so funny. Oh man, I can't believe they did him like that though. All right, so anyways, I want to talk about the cameos in this film. A lot of them were really unexpected. I was not expecting the X-Men cameo, the cast of Dark Phoenix to show up. I think all of them were actually there. I think I even saw Quicksilver, you saw Beast, Cyclops. I think Jean Grey was there for sure. And I know Nightcrawler was there too. And it was really cool to see, and I was not expecting for them to show up. And also Brad Pitt, again, we saw Brad Pitt. That was really unexpected. Wolverine, I didn't think they were actually gonna go back to X-Men Origins with Wolverine. That was really cool to see. And then you see like Deadpool just kind of shoot him, and then you see Ryan Reynolds reading Green Lantern, and then Deadpool shoots him in the forehead. Man, a lot of jabs to DC as well. A lot of parts in this movie, Ryan Reynolds is taking jabs and jabs at DC. You got that Martha joke. You got the "so dark. Are you sure you're not from the DC universe?" You got that one, and you got a lot of Green Lantern lines. You know for a fact that Ryan Reynolds does have a grudge against DC for how much they humiliated his career, and he just is very salty towards it. But I can't wait for another Green Lantern movie to kind of get all the audience back, because Green Lantern is a great character. I just think they executed it very, very poorly. But yeah, I love all the jabs that they had on DC. They're all hilarious. It's everything that the entire internet is talking about. And there were a few jabs to the Avengers. We had that Thanos joke, and we had that Winter Soldier joke as well. I think they even had like the Black Widow joke with Domino. But yeah, the end credit scene was something I did not expect. And I think the end credit scene is kind of a cop out as well, because Deadpool goes back in time to save everyone, save his wife or save his girlfriend, and to save the X-Force from dying. By doing that, it kind of makes it feel like all of this was kind of pointless, right? So I hate it when they do that. It's a super cop out. Again, lazy writing that he says in the film. But I guess, I mean, it works for entertainment value. But I wish they could have kept some of them dead. I guess the end credit scene didn't land for me as well. And I was kind of expecting end credit scene at the very end, not as a mid credit scene. But yeah, overall, I think this movie deserves a 7.5 in my opinion. The 7.5 is mainly everyone that's new to the film. Like you got X-Force, Domino, Cable. I think all of them really bring this movie up a notch, and I can't wait to see them in the next movie. The whole reason why I'm not giving it a straight 8 is because of the plot and the weak villain. I definitely don't like Russell. Hopefully they age him up in the next film. I don't know. I really hope they age him up and get someone else. I want a different actor. Sorry guys, but yeah. I give it a solid 7.5. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Do you guys like this movie? Do you guys agree with my points? Let me know in the comments below. Subscribe to our channel, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.